Page is the income statement for our general fund at the end of the year, 12/31/2024, and we show total revenues of $733,520.08, expenditures of $82,974.81, which gives us a net gain of $650,545.27. And then our last income statement for the end of the year, 12/31/2024, is for our capital project fund, which is a flow-through account. We show total revenues through the year of $3,986,537.95, and the same amount as expenditures, which gives us a net of zero. Any questions?
All right, thank you, Ron. If there's no questions, I would like a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Ken. I need a second.
Charles was the second.
All right, Charles, thank you for making the second. All right, there's a motion. Any questions on that motion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Ron. Invoices for payment. Sarah, would you like to walk us through that, please?
Sure. We have invoices for payment from Benish totaling $6,614.16 for engineering services, $367.50 for Shea, Santee, Kelhart, and Deschler. And just to note, those go through the end of 2024, both for Benish and Joanne. And then we have $222.12 from New Jersey Advanced Media for the advertising of the 2025 meeting dates, for a total of $7,203.78.
All right, thank you. And all the documentation is attached. Thank you.
Correct.
Need a motion to approve, pay the bills.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Ron. I need a second.
I'll second.
Second.
All right, thank you, Lori. Any questions on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is just invoices to date, all right? That's informational only.
Correct.
All right, thank you. All right, Greg,
have
Bridge
one-
Project.
I have one quick
Oh,
question.
sure.
Sorry about that. Down on Lion Boynton, that's a one-time
Yes.
charge annual,
So
thanks.
that was last year's.
Right, thank you.
Right.
Any others?
No, thank you.
Okay. Morning, Greg.
Morning.
Oh, you know what?
A few updates since the last meeting. Bridge 124, the paving was completed out there. The guide rail was installed. Final walkthrough was held on December 31st. Punch list items were sent the same day. Most notably, the guide rail was still being worked on January 3rd, last Friday. We were out there for most of the day. The guide rail was completed, and a punch list items, there were a few that needed to open the road. They were completed, the road was opened, and that's where 124 is right now.
All right, Greg, can I just stop you there, though? There's still remaining punch list items on 120, there
Yep,
is.
there is. So
Okay.
there's 16 punch list items. Most of them are very minor in nature, and some are for information only. For instance, there's pavement to be monitored, there's some riprap to be looked at. Even some maintenance items are on here as well. Utilities have to be called to move back, so they're basically minor in nature, but the Krieger is working on them. They were working on them yesterday, and they're working on them today. So we'll be out there again for another final inspection to make sure they are all wrapped up, but it might be a little time before the utilities come out there to move the poles. I mean, it's
Sure.
taken out a while on all of them, and they're going to have to do seeding and topsoil, obviously. They'll put the topsoil down, seeding won't happen. So that'll
Seating
have to happen.
happens when, spring?
Yeah, they'll do that in the spring.
Okay.
But yeah, so things are moving fine on Bridge 124, and we've, Mike's called PennDOT to get the bridge inspected, to get in their NBIS inspection system for the 2-year. So that's it for Bridge 124, unless anybody has any questions. There were there was an article in the Morning Call, 69 News, and Lehigh Valley Live I saw with some nice press about the bridge being open.
Do you have a question, Charles?
I will. I'll just wait till I get finished.
Okay. Sorry, I just heard.
Jumping to Bridge 101, no real update there. We did find out our status call and subsequent emails yesterday that the right of entry permit will be extended to the end of April, and as of right now, they're looking to do paving at that bridge in April.
What else remains on 101?
They have paving, they have guide rail, and they have some riprap to put on the one side of the bridge. That's it.
So they have guide rail. Could that been installed prior to paving? I mean,
Usually do it after the paving.
you do it after the paving. And then the third item was riprap.
There's some rock that's to be dropped on the one side of the bridge.
Was there any reason that that couldn't have been completed by the end of the
Because
year?
they didn't close the road. They've kept the road open the whole time. They need to temporarily close the road to get an excavator up there to do it, because there was no disturbance on that side of the bridge. They had all the disturbance on the upstream side. So, yeah, that's really the only reason why. They've worked on that bridge without a bridge closure.
So riprap, if I'm saying that right, paving and guide rail.
Riprap's
Anything
just
else,
rock.
anything else on that bridge?
That's it on that one. And I'll have to do line painting once they pave too, so line painting as well.
No other outstanding punch list items? Okay, thank you.
And if I may, that would be the extent of all the punch list that remains, or just that bridge?
Yeah, that'd be it for 101, correct.
So I guess what I'm after is, the items here couldn't be completed until after paving, right, or shutting the bridge down.
Correct.
Everything else has been completed. Thanks, Rick.
And jumping to Bridge 41, similar, they said mid-April is when they'll be getting to those punch list items.
And the reason for that is,
That's when we get to them.
so, yeah, what's punch list on 41? What do you have about?
There's about 6 items. Some are some minor concrete repairs. The big one is dropping the topsoil off of the property owner and planting seed.
But we still could have dropped topsoil off, we just couldn't seed. All right. All right, so that's another outstanding bridge, all right.
Bridge 54, that's the one where I've been coordinating with the other contractor in Med Ed, and Med Ed still hasn't been able to get out there yet. Every 2 weeks or so, or 3 weeks, I email to see what's going on, and they're booked.
Right, but that's based on utility.
That's it, yeah, it's just moving a guy
Availability.
wire, correct. Yep, that is very minor. Honestly, once we move that guy wire, probably the other contractor can get it done within a day if they're available.
Okay.
And then the maintenance items located on the status report, I was told similar, mid-April 2024 for those as well, too.
On the maintenance items?
Correct.
But they paved Bridge 124, and they could have fixed the depression on Bridge 219, because they were going to do that when they paved 124. And same thing for Bridge 189. They were going to pave that when they paved 101. All right, it's another item outstanding. Anything else there?
No, that's it.
Okay. You have any questions?
Well, yeah, you said this NBIS report, and there's corrective action on all of these bridges. Can you speak to that a little bit, or?
They're basically minor maintenance items. There's some they have to move rock around. So a storm came through, moved some rock away from the bridge. There's some minor cracks that were found on the bridge that get sealed. It's all minor items. It's nothing major, but it is items. You know, they've come up in PennDOT inspection reports. And I did go out with Krieger to every one of them. We verified.
So I don't know I don't remember if we talked about this last time or not, but how does maintenance work?
Well, Joanne and I
Can you
looked-
speak into the mic more directly? They're having.
Oh, now it's working. It wasn't working before, sorry. Joanne did look into it, and we didn't see any real deadline. I don't know, Joanne, if you want to speak into it about it all, but
Yeah, unfortunately, the contract, neither the original nor the settlement agreement addresses timeframes for maintenance. It just says that they're going to be responsible for maintenance 10 years after the project is accepted. There is no separate maintenance agreement with the developer that sets forth what they're supposed to do or a time frame. So unfortunately, there's really nothing currently in that contract that you can say, I want this done on the maintenance side for a particular thing.
So let me
I
just,
would suggest, though, in the future, if you ever get into this again, you got anything with a developer, you do a separate maintenance agreement.
I guess I just shouldn't say anything on that end.
Well, there's so much to say, and yet it's best to say nothing.
Thank you. I do have one question, though. You said
Lori,
the maintenance period starts when the
Lori, I'm
project
biting
is
my tongue as
accepted.
well.
Hang on, Charles. The maintenance portion is supposed to start when a project is accepted.
Final acceptance, yes.
Final acceptance, all punch list items are completed.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, go ahead, Lori.
well, you're going somewhere with that, so
Nah, I'm
let's-
going somewhere because these punch list items have been hanging out there for years, some of them. And the
So
Contract is silent.
technically, they're in default. You know, but everything was supposed to be done by the end of 2024. And that includes the punch list items. Because once you
Correct.
final accept, they're in a different spot. And if you haven't final accepted because of punch list, then they're not done.
Okay, and I understand that you're telling us that they're in default.
Yes, and if you decide that you want to let them know that, you need to send them something in writing telling them they're in default and why.
If I, okay, hold on.
Anybody have any comments?
If I may, we've had discussions about this in the past, and certainly having attended way more of these meetings than is necessary to get through purgatory, the contractor, Krieger, is now in breach. In every element of this, in every one of the meetings I've attended for the status of this project, I made it clear on behalf of the county as well as the general purpose authority that there was no 2025. That when we settled this contract, we had fully agreed that everything would be complete by 2024. In giving them that extension on this project, they fully accepted that they would be completed by the construction period of 2024. Which includes everything. Punch list, having things done. Bridge 101 was one of the earlier bridges to get started, and yet they delayed for their purposes for the better part of 6 years before even starting that bridge. This is a circumstance created entirely by them. They had every opportunity to get this done. Over the years, we've even agreed to and gave them extra money to facilitate the other concerns they had with Bridge 101. So I would like to make a motion to direct our solicitor to send them the necessary paperwork and file that they are indeed in breach of this contract, that we will not be paying them this year's service fee until such time as they have corrected or cured their breach.
And I second that motion.
All right, there's a second and a motion out there. Any questions on that?
Dawn, did you hear that clearly?
Any other questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
So, Mr. Anthony, if I may, so just so that you're aware, there's a provision, 26.2, which gives them the opportunity to cure. So they will have a 30-day window to cure. And that would speak to Mr. Dertinger's motion that, you know, he said if they have to cure. So they have 30 days under that contract to do so, and then you guys can take whatever necessary steps you want thereafter.
Yeah. As of what date, 30-day cure?
As of the date they receive, as of the date the contract expired.
Okay, so contract expired at the end of the year of 2024.
Oh, no, excuse me, I'm sorry. Under that same section, it's after the default, after we declare them to be in default. So it'd be 30 days from their date, from the date they get this letter, which hopefully will be this week. I will get that out as quickly as I can. After I talk to Greg, I want him to put some information in there so that they know exactly why they're being termed to be in default.
Okay, and if 30 days secure.
Yeah, okay?
Joanne, having been through this before, I'll reach out to you outside the meeting to discuss this.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Greg. Yep. We're getting close. No, we just can't cross that finish line. All right, any new business or staff reports?
There are none.
Can I just, where are we at with the Glendon site? I haven't heard about that in a bit. Huh?
Just still waiting. We're waiting for the borough and the city and CALV to get through some water testing at the site.
Okay.
It's just a lengthy,
Process.
continual process when you've got multiple organizations and municipalities involved.
Who are
that's-
the
that's
three
fine.
again?
Glendon, City of Easton, and CALV.
That's all right, though. It's moving forward. That's, you know, it's just time.
Slow and steady.
Okay. All right, any other new business, staff report, we're good? Our next meeting is Tuesday, February 4th, 8:15 here in council chambers. Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Lori.
Happy New Year, all.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Take care.
Thank you, Lance.